Start a new project on English unit with English unit standard IPT. Begin a 2D sketch on XY plane. Draw an ellipse. The center of the ellipse, when prompts you, select the origin. And defining the first axis point, just click a point and make sure the line is horizontal. Left click on the right and another point on location approximately defining the minor axis. Adding the dimension, select any point on the circumference of the ellipse. As you move your cursor to the position for minor axis or major axis, automatically Inventor defines the half of them. So in this case we have 8 total major axis. Half would be 4. Repeat for dimensioning the minor axis would be 2.5 in this case. Finish a sketch. Extrude with 0.125 as a thickness. Select the front face as a new sketch plane. Draw a circle. Snap to the origin and add diameter of 1.5 for the circle, and then finish sketch and extrude cut. And select through all for the distance to go through. Select the same face again for add another sketch for creating this adjustable hole. We begin with some construction lines. We can begin with circle rather than line first. Pick a point on this fourth quadrant of the ellipse, approximate position, and add a dimension between the center of the circle and the origin as given 1 unit on the horizontal distance, and the vertical distance between the same point in respect to the y-axis would be 0.75. The circle should be a construction circle, which later defines the center of that adjustable hole. Select a circle and make it construction. To have a better visibility, we will switch our view to wireframe. Under the visual style, switch to wireframe. And we will add a few more things to define this by adding some more construction lines. Under the sketch, draw a line from the center to the quadrant and repeat the same thing from center of the circle to the quadrant. And this would help us to define these, define the location of this adjustable hole. So let's trim this one, trim the circle, and we will use this arc by adding 2 more lines to the end of this arc, short lines, another one similar on this lower left corner. Make sure that these 2 lines are equal, and also these 2 lines should be selected as construction lines as well. We add 1 dimension to this one, it's 0.25. And we add 1 dimension to this arc, which would be 1.5. I'm sorry, that was not 1.5. As a radius would be 0.75. Okay, now we need to continue with drawing two circles. The center of the circle would be end of this line. Similar on the lower left corner. We make these two circles to be the same size, equal relations. And we continue adding some lines from the quadrant of the circles downward, some distance. Repeat this for all quadrant that requires those lines. I'm just exceeding a little bit more so we can make sure that is going to be tangent later on and reaching that circle, which we are going to draw next. So draw a circle, and the center of the circle is going to be the same as the center of this arc. Because we have 1.75 and this would be 0.25 less, so it would be 0.5. So I'm going to just add right now a circle here, then come back and add dimensions later, and repeat this one again for another circle. So that circle is going to be adding 0.25 to 0.75 would be 1. So if before we add this dimension, I just want to make sure that these are having relationship with these lines as far as the tangent relations between this line and this circle, and between this one and this line, this circle and this line, and now they are tangent. And same thing on this one should be also similar for the circle and this line. Okay, it's already looks like it's constrained. Okay, now we can do some trimming here before we add dimensions. And make sure that, because I drew this line too long, so make sure that you have zoom in and then trim as you require. In the process, you may lose some of the constraint, but we can come back and add it. But this way we know that it's touching the right point, and this line that we have here is something that I need to take care of it. So we have trim, and continue trimming all these extra pieces. And now we want to have, I'm just going to trim this one too. And probably I don't need these lines anymore. I can get rid of these. Okay, that's something I can continue. So I have still some dimensions that are missing, of course. I don't have any dimension to these circles yet, so I will add this right now. Probably should be trimmed first, so I can add the radius dimension. Make sure that you have all this. So I can get rid of this extra circle here. Just a matter of trimming everything. Okay, that's pretty, I think we have taken care of that part. Now we need to do some more dimensioning here. So first I'm going to add this dimension, which is 0.25 as radius. Here we have some issue. That should be a line there, which I don't have. Let's see if I can do this one by adding the 0.5. Okay, that fixed. And this one is going to be 1. Remember, we based on the calculation that we had earlier. And now it still is telling me that 2 dimensions missing, but we figure out what they are. Most likely I lost the relations when I trimmed them and had this equal relations, which is already exist. And this, there's a line here that is not quite tangent. I see the problem, so just come explore all those. Okay, that is fixed. That is done. So the tangencies on these. Okay, now it's fully constrained. So that's your goal. You need to spend some time on this one. This is the one, it takes some time to get this one done precisely and fully constrained. When you get to this point, now it's time to finish a sketch and extrude. You can switch back to your view to visual style, back to shaded with edges, and now use the switch to the 3D model phase and extrude, cut, and through all. And this is the major part of this assignment. After that, everything goes quickly. And now it's time to use the mirror tool. Mirror on the 3D modeling tool. Selecting the feature, in this case, would be our last item that we have created here, extrude 3. It's a good idea to rename those, but at this time I'm just going to select extrude 3 and then switch to mirror plane. Mirror plane. Select mirror plane and then define the plane. In this case, highlight the plane that you want to use as a mirror plane. To do that, expand the origin to see all the planes. In this case, we will have YZ plane is a good choice. Left click on this browser, left click on that, and then it shows the preview and accept. We will repeat this mirror tool again. This time the feature would be mirror 1 because that would pick both of them. And then we select the plane. In this case would be XZ plane, in this case. XZ plane. And then mirror plane, of course, is XZ plane. And then apply, OK. And that completes your drawing. Then, well, last thing we need to add, of course, is to polygon. So start with the polygon tool. Select the point, approximate location, and the default is the 6 size, so I did not change that. And also default, you can select this one, circumscribe option, which is fine. And then you can have this one closed. Add relations first. Horizontal relations for this top line should be horizontal, so it locks in that position so it doesn't rotate. And then add dimension between 2 flat faces. And that is supposed to be 1. Next is trying to figure out what is the location. This time we don't have any, so add dimension between origin and the center of the polygon, which is given 3 units. And now we have 1 dimension. Of course, that's for y-axis location, because it is free to move still. So we need to lock that in the position by using the relations, horizontal relations between the centers. And that completes this sketch. We can use mirror tool on the sketch mode. Also, we can do that to get the mirror. And before I do the mirror, I need to have something defined here to use as a mirror line. For that, the best option would be going to the project geometry. You can draw a center line as well, but this is another option. Project geometry, and then select the project geometry and select the, in this case, y-axis. y-axis, and that line help us to use it as a mirror line. Select the mirror tool, selecting the object, in this case selecting all the sides of the polygon. You have to pick individually. This is not one piece, so you have to pick all the sides. Once you have selected all of them, then switch to the mirror line and then select this axis and then apply. So that completes your sketch on this mode, and finish a sketch and cut using the extrude cut, selecting both polygons and cut through all. Last thing you would do, add the material, which is in this case given aluminum 660 alloy. Let's see, we have that should be on the list here, 6061, and adding that. And then last, of course, as we always do, using the annotate, you can use a general note to add properties and add the mass properties, and selecting the mass equal to, adding the text and update, see what the mass would be. Right click on this part, or you can go to File, Properties, and select the physical and update. So that completes our project.